Greetings, people. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. So, breaking news before we get into the news, before we get into the episode of the day. Apparently, Apostle Kasi Chukwu's apology was blue-ticked by Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin. In all his sincerity in his apology to Omoto Fufeyin, his apology was blue-ticked. It was not considered. In fact, the apology was actually used against him in court by Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin. This was a blackmail from the beginning. I hope this is a lesson learned, well learned the hard way by Kasi Chukwu and all the other apologists out there. That when you decide to stand for the truth, fight till the end. Never back down. Never stop standing for the truth. Never stop fighting for the truth. Especially the truth is against someone who is as wicked as Omoto Fufeyin. I told you people, Omoto Fufeyin has no heart. He has no heart whatsoever. He cares less about anyone. If someone can ignore the case of a missing child, if someone can ignore someone like Ruth Matthew in a desperate situation, pursuing justice for her child, if someone can arrest someone like Sister Ruth Matthew, what more Kasi? What can he do to Kasi? And Kasi went out, I'm sorry, Prophet Jeremiah Omoto. All the things I said, I was sorry, hoping that he can buy the affection of Omoto Fufeyin. Omoto Fufeyin has no soul, people. Omoto Fufeyin has no soul. Omoto Fufeyin and TB Joshua, same WhatsApp group. They don't care. You can give dozens of apologies to Omoto Fufeyin, but Omoto Fufeyin is WICKED. That's what defines Omoto Fufeyin. But there's one thing that people do not understand about the situation or the condition of Omoto Fufeyin at the moment. Omoto Fufeyin is a wounded lion. He knows for a fact that he's going down. He knows that his end is near. And he knows that he does not want to go down alone. So he will grab anything along his way that he can go down with. I know most of you think this man is invincible. No, he's only a man, people. I know most people are afraid of this gentleman. But no, man. He's only a human being with the same flesh and blood, like most of you, like all of us. There's nothing to fear about him. The billions that he took from people, are they the ones that you think you should be scared of? That so because he can buy anyone? Money has a limit. Money cannot buy everyone. In this case of baby testimony, it has given this gentleman sleepless nights over the past few months. And is willing to bring down anyone that he can possibly bring down with him. Because he knows his end is very close, it's just around the corner. So Kasi, in his sincerity, in his apology to Omoto Fufeyin looked it and took it. And this apology was actually compelled by, according to what I heard, according to the hearsay, this apology was actually compelled by Chris Okafor. And Chris Okafor compelled it through Chioma Johnson. Like I once mentioned in my previous post, that Chioma and Chris Okafor, they are darlings. They have something going on between the two of them. It's either Chioma is a daughter to Chris Okafor, or they are literally just having a fling. She's probably a side of Chris Okafor. That's their relationship. Because Chris Okafor does not play anything in a skirt. He does not play. He does not waste time. Chris Okafor is known to be one of the major false prophets in Nigeria. When it comes to RNG, when it comes to lying to people, Chris Okafor is their grandmaster. Chris Okafor is the greatest deceptive false prophet in Nigeria, who stage manages miracles, who lies to people that he can heal, who lies to people that he has the power to command action or to suppress progress in the lives of people. In case most of you think I'm speaking out of emotion, let me give you a demonstration. Let me play you a small snippet of Chris Okafor's dubious demonstrations that he uses to deceive his gullibles and to instill fear into his gullible members. Watch this video.
If I be a man of God, you will be blind for 10 minutes. From this moment, you will be blind for 10 minutes. If I be a man of God, go blind as he is, so you are. Prophetic ambassador, power, prophetic ambassador, power. Hey, you are just walking like that. Power, power belongs to you.
As you can see, this demonstration, Chris Okafor is actually proclaiming that he can command one to be blind. He can command people to be deaf. Just by the word coming out of his mouth, he has that unction, that power to suppress the physical abilities or to suppress the senses of human beings. He has the power to control the anatomy and the behavior of human responses to the physical environment. That's the power that he assumes he has. And this is just a demonstration that lowers down the people of Nigeria. What annoys me with these kind of demonstrations is there are thousands of people in the audience who are actually believing that this gentleman can actually hear. This gentleman is actually hearing from God. This gentleman is being used by God. So if you think this gentleman actually meant to prophesy what he prophesied, and if you also believe in this dubious miracle, and if you're still also a child, a son, a daughter of Chris Okafor, then you must also know that you are doomed. You are seriously doomed. If you are being led by someone who's as blind as Okafor, you yourself, my friend, you are destined for doom. But Chris Okafor is not the topic of the conversation. The reason why I had to bring him forth, and together with this issue that I've just raised, it was just to bring you a breaking news, which we are going to look into deeper in the next episode. But I just thought I should just give you a teaser of what is going on, because I think as was in court today or the day before, and his apology did not mean anything to Omoto Fufeyin, and we know he was inspired by Chioma. Chioma is the one that told Cassie to apologize to Jeremiah Omoto for mercy, to plead for mercy. And the approach, according to what I heard, Cassie was supposed to beg to Jeremiah Omoto through Chris Okafor. He was supposed to say, according to the script that I heard, he was supposed to say, oh, please, Papa J. I don't know how he ended up coming with this previous script that he came up with, but the original script was supposed to be like, according to Chioma Johnson, it was supposed to be, oh, please, Papa J, please forgive me. I have tried so much to reach out to you and I can't get hold of you. I finally ended up asking my brother Chris Okafor to deliver this message to you so that you can also soften your heart and forgive me for every wrong that I have done. That was the original script. Because Okafor right now is playing the guardian angel to Omoto Fufeyin. He's the one that is caressing the wounds of this expose that is happening to Omoto Fufeyin. He's the one that is playing that brotherhood kind of assistance to Omoto Fufeyin. Is that brotherhood keeper, my brother's keeper to Omoto Fufeyin. Is the one that is saying, oh, my brother, everything is going to be well. I promise you, my brother, this too shall pass. What he does not know that after we are done with Jeremiah Omoto, we are getting to this promiscuous, unrepentant charlatan called Chris Okafor. His turn is also coming, and his days are also numbered. So as he caresses and nurses the wounds of Omoto Fufeyin, I hope he's also preparing for his own. And yeah, I don't know his association. Like I heard, I told you that what I heard, that his association with Chioma Johnson is that they have a kind of a cling, cling, ching, ching, wing, wing, ping, ping, whatever that means. Whatever that means to you, but the bottom line is that was the entire plan, to apologize to Jeremiah Omoto through Okafor, and Okafor would have to go and plead to Omoto Fufeyin, blah, 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 and then you come back and say, okay, Kasa, I forgive you, I withdraw the case. But Omoto Fufeyin, being as wicked as he is, he couldn't withdraw the case. He let the story hold, and he even used the apology, according to what I heard as well, to pile up trumped up charges on Kasi Chuku, because like I told you before, that Omoto has so much to prove and he wants to prove a lot. And in the process, he is actually hurting the innocent. And I'm also asking Kasi Chuku the same question. What were you thinking? Apologizing to Omoto Fufeyin. Do you think Omoto Fufeyin can forgive you? Is he the type that you think he can forgive anyone in that type called Omoto Fufeyin? Someone who can arrest someone like Sister Ruth Matthew. Come on, there's no hope for Omoto Fufeyin. The only thing we are waiting for the likes of Omoto Fufeyin, is the day that the Lord will call them up before they sin too much. That's the prayer that we have. God, please, can you summon this one now before you cause too much damage to the body of Christ? And the sooner that prayer gets answered, then the better. So this is just a story for another day, which we are going to dig deeper into in the next episode. But the topic of the conversation, remember I posted a video. The topic of this conversation is actually centered on the previous video that I posted, which concerned the father of the alleged baby testimony, Andy Brown. In the recent broadcast that they did on a TV station in Cameroon, there are so many things that I omitted from my presentation as I was waiting to see if Omoto's people were also going to post this video, because I wanted to connect the dots to see if this father of the alleged baby testimony is connected to Omoto Fufeyin and this whole syndicate of Godlove trying to extort money from me and Sister Ruth Matthew, trying to implicate me and Sister Ruth Matthew. And funny enough, the dots have connected, and I've come to the realization that this family in Cameroon, they're actually in partnership with Jeremiah Omoto. This family in Cameroon, they're actually working together with Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin. And many people have been saying that this boy that they brought to the interview, to present to the interview, is different from the initial boy that we had posted in the previous picture as baby testimony. That's a discussion for another day. But the point that I want to establish here is to make it clear to the world and make everyone know that this was all a plan that was well orchestrated, even though it failed. And this irresponsible father, who has recently come out to claim that my child's pictures were used, I'm going to report to I actually submitted the report to the police, and my wife actually lost a child, a 2 months pregnancy. And he also went on to say, I actually withdrew my son from school because of these threats, because I had heard that these people were planning to come and kidnap my son. If I see that man, that man who was talking on that interview, I want you to spot something. Okay, let me finish the statement that I was about to make. If I see that man, that one, that is called Andy Brown, I'm still thinking, I'm still Googling what I can do to him. Because as of now, I'm not so sure what he deserves. Because he's a disgrace. He's a disgrace to humanity, he's a disgrace to fatherhood, and he's a disgrace to all mankind. For one or two reasons. He allowed himself to be used by Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin. And most of you are still questioning, what do you mean he was used? How did you come out to this conclusion that he was used? People, when they call me Mr. Pull the Trigger, they just don't do it for the sake of them calling me Mr. Pull the Trigger. If you noticed on the video that I posted of the interview that they carried out in Cameroon, I had blurred the text that they had written on those videos. I blurred everything, the hidden text. There was text that was written as the story was being reported in Cameroon. There's a reason why I blurred those texts, because I wanted to see if Jeremiah Omoto's damage control team were going to carry this story the same way that they carried all the other media propaganda stories. But funny enough, I waited all day. None of them carried this story from Cameroon. This mainstream media propaganda that was done, that they did with this Andy Brown from Cameroon. There's a reason why they didn't. There is a reason why they did not carry it. And here's the reason. The original video, this is the text that was written on the original video. As you can see, that the alleged father, as they call it in the media presentation in Cameroon, the alleged father's name is Gideon Oro. Can you see that? They are saying that this brother is not Andy Brown. This father that is representing, that is coming out to cry out that my child was being accused of missing, yet is not missing. They are not saying it's Andy Brown. They never mentioned Andy Brown. And remember the Facebook profile that we extracted, that we found these pictures, it's under the name Andy Brown. I want to show you the wickedness of these people and how weak and pathetic their damage control is. As always, the name that they used here is Gideon Oro. It's not the name of this man. They are alleging in this media broadcast that this man's name is Gideon Oro. But this is Gideon Oro. Most of you know this gentleman called Gideon Oro. I have spoken about him before. This is Jeremiah Omoto's personal assistant. Some say he's a double plug, he's a double adapter. Whatever that means, if you don't get it, forget about it. But that's what many people alleged. That this young man called Gideon Oro is a double, adapter. He has double standards. This gentleman is the same gentleman that is being used by Jeremiah Omoto to silence all his concubines, all the young ladies that Omoto would have had a thing with. This young man called Gideon. This is the actual Gideon Oro. But in the news in Cameroon, they are referring to this gentleman, this father of the alleged baby testimony, as Gideon Oro. The question is, who are they trying to deceive? Who are they trying to lie to? What is their plan? What are their intentions? Why spreading false news now and again and again and again and again? According to the information that we had prior, this man is called Andy Brown, not Gideon Oro. But in the news, why are they calling him Gideon Oro? And if you even listen further to this video, they're not even referring to the missing child as testimony. They are referring to the missing child as Prosper.
Has been so stressed up. My entire family has been stressed up. My wife, until my wife lost our 2 months pregnancy, not just because of all this information that's been circulating. Because we don't know anything about anything. I don't even know that there's something going on in Nigeria about my son.
The alleged fraudsters named the boy Prosper and 5 years old.
That is not the name of my son.
Where did they get that information that the missing child is called Prosper? Why are they using all these gimmicks to lead people astray or to confuse people or to confuse the public? And why are they referring to Andy Brown as Gideon Oro? Because Gideon Oro is this one, the one that also came and gave a statement when Godlove was arrested. This is Gideon Oro.
Prof X is a vampire. He's a vampire. Him and Group Matthew. I believe that they know the game that they are playing.
If any case or any issue that has been handed over to the police, they must make sure they investigate to the last point. And during the investigation, if the police or the court find out that Prof S is a masterminder, I think the law will still go for him.
So are you telling me that the media in Cameroon, they are mistaking the identity or the name of Andy Brown for Gideon Oro? Because they keep repeating that this is not Andy Brown, that this is Gideon Oro. Why are they doing that? So are you trying to tell me that this Andy Brown of a guy is not involved in this syndicate? Now let's get back to the basics. Like I asked you the question that I asked you before. Was it a coincidence that Godlove neighbor went on the internet or on Facebook and typed Andy Brown and he came across Andy Brown's profile and he took pictures from there? This is my conclusion. Andy Brown, Godlove neighbor, Gideon Oro, Jeremiah Omoto, and others, they have been planning this whole thing together. They have been inside this whole damage control thing together. Hence the lies that keep piling up and piling up and piling up. Nothing has been presented by these people that is of the truth. Nothing at all. It has been one lie after the other. But the question that I still have for Omoto Fufeyin and this team is, why keeping on peddling these lies? Why are you doing it? Now you know, now you understand the reason why they did not carry out this propaganda on their damage control sites, on the bloggers that they use to carry out damage control. They probably thought that this news was not supposed to get to us, or we're not supposed to know about this news. What's wrong with this man called Omoto Fufeyin? What is wrong with him? Is there a single thing about him that is legit? Is there a single thing about him that is based on the truth? Or he has actually believed, or he's beginning to start to believe his own lies? Why go to the extent of bribing a Cameroonian television station to come and misrepresent facts and misrepresent information? Why would they call this brother called Andy Brown Gideon Oru? And why would they call baby testimony Prosper? What's their agenda? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to cook? For what? For the why? And this Andy Brown of a brother is a disgrace to all the fathers out there. To any child that is calling this man called Andy Brown a father. I'm sorry for you, my boys or my little girls, but your father is just like Ayo. Andy Brown and Ayo, same WhatsApp group. Very useless fathers. Oh, it sounds offensive, right? Yes. Oh, it sounds personal, right? Indeed, it is personal. You don't come with this cheap damage control to try to infiltrate in a case that is as sensitive as this and come and claim nonsense claims as you just did, you Andy Brown. A grown-up man like you, allowing yourself to be used by Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin. You're a shame, my brother. A big, big shame. A shame to your family, a shame to your children, a shame to all fathers out there. I hope this clears out everything. I hope this evens out everything. That these people have been working together. It was not a coincidence. Godlove did not attempt this thing on his own. It was all a plan. And you can ask yourself, why are Jeremiah Omoto's people not carrying this story that just came out in Cameroon? Or is it not supposed to be a victory from their side? It is. And how did the Cameroonian news knew about Gideon Oru? How did they know about him? Is it a coincidence that they just said this guy is Gideon Oru from nowhere, from the blue? It's just one lie after the other. So till I meet you again on the next episode of the Enlightenment series, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share. We've got very much interesting news to come that is going to bring closure to this whole case. You stay tuned and keep following Mr. Pull the Trigger as he pulls the trigger. I'll check you again on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. I'm out.